Coach, and you're tuned into Madden 19. Between the Denver Broncos and the Oakland Raiders. So with that, let's get out to the East Bay and Oakland, California. On the call, here are Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
Thank you, Coach. EA Sports coverage of the NFL brings us to Oakland, California. Brandon Godden, Charles Davis, happy to be with you. And Charles, we've got two teams who know each other extremely well. These division games, they tend to be battles.
People scout like crazy in this league, but no one scouts more than within the division. Because if you win your division, you're automatically in the playoffs. That puts extra emphasis on these games, and they can't wait to get at each other.
The Raiders set to kick. Here's Sebastian Janikowski to start us as this one is underway. That's fielded in the end zone. And he'll elect not to return this one, so they'll bring it out to the 25 on the touchback. So here are the Broncos now for their opening drive. And a glance here at their quarterback, standing 6'3".
And what's a quarterback's best friend?
Balance?
I think you're right. I agree with you. You know, a lot of guys would say great receiver, right? A terrific offensive line. But I agree with you, balance, because if you can run the ball effectively, that just opens things up for guys who want to throw it and gives you easier passing lanes and easier coverages to read.
And they said balance will be a focus in this one.
Yeah, they don't want it all just heaped on his shoulders, I don't believe. I think they want to make sure they take some of the pressure off.
Now a play fake here on first down. It's a short one here, complete to his tight end. That throw good for 4. It's second down. And the Buffet boys, the O-line, hopefully they're ready today.
Listen, you got to feed them first. But if you do, you usually get a great product out on the field. And when they play well, the quarterback can't wait to feed them afterwards.
2nd and 6, just inside the 30. And they'll go ground game here with a tailback. And he'll be tackled at about the 35. It's a 6-yard run, leaves him with about a foot or so here still to go to hit the marker with 3rd down coming up.
A quick burst there, and he nicely bit off a pretty decent gain.
An early test for this defense. Here we go on 3rd and inches. They'll look to throw here. And that is incomplete.
And 3rd down is a key down in any game you play. And 3rd down defense, something we've got to watch in this one. Got to be effective on the passing downs. That's a pretty good first step right there.
The Broncos send out their punter now. He'll kick it away after a 3-and-out on the opening drive of the game. This will be fielded at the 17. 21 yards. Well done on the return. And the Raiders will take over now 1st and 10. So here comes the Raider offense now onto the field. And they will be led out by their 6'3" quarterback.
And what I enjoyed in preparing for this game was talking not just with the coaching staff, but with him as well. And I found it interesting that the coaching staff sees him one way, and he sees himself an entirely different way.
Yeah, one thing he said he's always working on, we know he's not bad at this, but his footwork, always wants to improve that, and that's something he's going to focus on here.
And what was so funny, what the offensive coordinator say right off the top? He's got great footwork. Love his footwork. So this guy is never satisfied.
So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. They'll come out throwing here on 1st down. And this is going to be caught. He won the fight for the football. That play going for 16 yards to start the drive. 1st down.
I don't care who you put on him. He's going to be a handful in one-on-one throws.
Yeah, right now you're right. They're in man-to-man. Maybe needs some safety help.
I would say that'd be a good idea. Double team him somehow. I'm going to have to make someone else beat me rather than let him shred my defense.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll lose yardage here. Back at the 47. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be second down. They'll look to throw. This will be caught by Brown. And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. First catch for him on the afternoon, and it results in a first down.
In today's football, where receivers break tackles, make people miss, get upfield for the extra yardage, when you see a play like that where it's caught and he's dropped on the spot, that's a big-time play by the defense.
On first down, he'll drop to throw. He's going to flip one out here to his running back. And he went nowhere. He'll lose yardage back to the 29. It's a loss of 2 there, bringing up second down.
Well, that was a simple throw and catch, but even with that completion, 0 yards gained, so they're behind schedule on down and distance.
I think they were hoping to get it to him. He could make a man or two miss, but that window closed quickly. Second and 12 after the first down pass play went backwards for 2 yards. And they'll go with a ground attack here. And he went backwards. He'll be down at the 30. That'll be a loss of a yard, and it leads to a third down.
He has elite instincts from his linebacker spot. He's able to diagnose the run and flies in like a missile to stop that one behind the line of scrimmage.
And defensively, a dime look here. 6 DBs on 3rd and 12.
No surprise at all.
Looking to throw. Wide open receiver complete. And down inside the 15, shy of the 10. They've got another first down. The Raider passing game clicking on all cylinders right now. How about the start throwing the football? 4 for 4 on this opening drive.
Oh, he's slinging it. And oftentimes when you talk about slinging it, you're thinking about a guy throwing it all over the yard, not necessarily accurately. In this case, though, he's honing in on his targets, and he's delivering.
Yeah, the opening script, however they drew it up for this first drive, going to plan so far. The Raiders into the red zone for the first time. They've got a 1st and 10 at the 11. They're going to look to throw. This is caught. A good pickup there. 8 yards on the first down completion.
And when you're playing a quarterback with some experience and some moxie, you enter the danger zone when you decide to blitz him, because if he's able to diagnose as he did on that play, he can hurt you downfield.
He reads defenses so well, doesn't he?
He really does, and the best part about that play for him, I don't think that was his primary target.
I don't think so either.
I think he had the read, figured out where the blitz was coming from, and went to a secondary target for a really nice gain.
They'll give it to him right up the gut. And he's going to get this back to the 3-yard line and no further. Not enough there for a first. No gain, as a matter of fact. And it leaves them at 3rd and 1. And this O-line, it is the lifeblood of the offense.
They established the tone. Mean, nasty, physical. They can't wait to get after people. That allows the rest of the offense to feel confident.
This will be play number 8 here on the drive. It's 3rd and a yard. And they'll let their fullback try and push the pile. And not going to be able to push this forward. He runs into a wall right at the line of scrimmage. Line of scrimmage, the 2. They can still get a first down if they just get a yard out of this on 4th and very short. Needing the tough yards, they run it with their fullback. And not only did he not get in the end zone, he didn't get the first down either. Now it looks like we've got a Raider here, slow to get up. We'll take a break and get a report from Oakland after this. And they'll run it here. And he's going to lose yardage back to his own 1-yard line. It's a loss of a yard there, and now 2nd down.
Well, you had to punt on your first drive, and on the first play of the second drive, you end up going backwards. I would dare say they need something good to happen right here, right now.
A loss of a yard there to start out. That leads to a 2nd and 11. And they'll try the ground game here with the running back. And he'll get this only up to about the 3-yard line. Just a gain of a yard there, and now it'll be 3rd down. And this defensive line will be looking to control the point of attack.
And that's what they've done throughout this season. This is a terrific unit. They play together very, very well, and they don't permit big plays to happen.
They'd like to avoid punting from their own end zone so they could use something here on 3rd down. And they'll go on the ground. Now it looks like we've got a Bronco that's banged up on the play. We'll take a break and get a report from Oakland after this. The Broncos send out their punter now as he'll punt it away for the 2nd time. Taken right around the 44. A good return there, 17 yards. And the Raiders will have a short field to work with as they take over. The Raiders offense now, they trot back out. And last time they had it 4th and goal, rolled the dice, didn't get it. Now they've got to put that behind them, try to put together another drive.
Hey, a simple tip of the cap, a nod of the head to the defense. Congratulations, you got us last time. But you didn't hold us the whole time. We got down to position. We were able to be in position to score. Let's go ahead and attack again. Continue to have that kind of confidence. Not worry about the one play that didn't allow them to get into the end zone.
And this time they'll be trying to get it into the end zone. We'll see what they do. Play clock down to 5, and they're going to burn a timeout. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this first quarter. So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. They'll try and start this drive in the air. Man open left side is Brown. And he is in. Touchdown, Raiders. As his guys are in for 6. And the Raiders have taken the early lead. And a nice job by him to catch the slant and then navigate and break free.
And receivers love slant routes because it gets the ball in their hands so quickly and oftentimes on the move. And when they're on the move like that, then they get to use their best asset, which is usually their speed.
And their speed sometimes, like this instance, can take them into the end zone. Sebastian Janikowski on for the PAT. Janikowski adds the extra point, and it's now a 7-0 game. Out to kick is Janikowski. This is taken about 7 yards deep. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. And coming out now, the Broncos. They've had it twice. They've punted twice. Not the start they were hoping for.
Not at all, and let's face it, every facility we visit, everyone talks about converting on third down, how big that is. In this situation, they've had to punt it away twice, so they're furiously going over things on the sidelines. What do we need to do to pick up a first down and change our momentum?
They'll come out throwing here to start the drive. So they took a shot on first down but couldn't connect.
Well, I guess we just discovered that someone is certainly not going to sit back and just take it in this game, huh?
No, they were trying to get that touchdown back in one shot.
One shot, trying to help out his defense and let the other team know they were coming after him.
Line of scrimmage, again the 25, 2nd and 10. And on the ground they go with a running back. And he'll wind up with about 6, up past the 30 to the 31.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
And on third down, a nickel formation here defensively. He'll drop to throw. And this is going to be incomplete.
What did we talk with them about prior to the game? Their ability to move the chains, pick up first downs. So far, 0 for 3 on third down. If that continues, they'll have little chance of winning this one.
Pulled in at the 24. Whoosh. Ready to go now in the second quarter. Brandon Gaudin, Charles Davis. It's the Raiders in possession of the football. They take over 1st and 10 up near midfield. Good starting field position for them here as they come up 1st and 10. Blown up, losing yardage on the play back at the 44. That's going to go as a loss of 2, and it'll be 2nd down. First play of the drive goes the wrong way. Here's 2nd and 12. Now this time he'll look to throw. And this thing is blown up defensively. They will not get a throw off on the trick play, and that'll go down as a sack.
So what's the word I'm looking for here about how this drive just started?
Disjointed?
I'll go with that one. I mean, think about it. First down, took a bad loss on a running play. Take the sack on 2nd down. Now they got to come up with something big here on 3rd.
So it's 3rd and long, and defensively not a real surprise. They're in the dime.
All right, here we go. Green 39. Green 39.
They'll set up to throw. He's going to launch this thing way downfield. And a shot taken on 3rd down, unsuccessful. 4th down now.
How about this offense already feeling good about themselves with a touchdown already in their first drive? They've certainly come out firing, even though that one was incomplete.
With the 7-0 lead, more apt to take a shot like that downfield?
Hey, you're 1 to the good. Go ahead and try and press your advantage.
A very nice job on the run back there. He'll get 23 yards all told. And the Broncos take over, 1st down and 10. The Bronco offense now set to come back out onto the field. So far, they've had 3 drives, 3 punts. Not good.
Not good indeed, because you've got to have something to show for being out on the field. Now, sometimes, if you have a game where neither...
Under a heavy rush, and down he goes.
Brandon, if I'm an offensive coordinator and I see an all-out rush like that, I file it away because I'm going to use their aggressiveness against them as this game goes on. I'm going to hit them with a screen soon.
Don't need it all back at once, but you figure they're going to need something here. 17 yards to go on second down. On play action, they'll throw. Got a man right side. It's Sharp. A very good move, but for a short gain out near the 32. That throw good for only a couple. It brings up third down.
Well, they're unable to convert that into much, but it's never a bad idea to try to get the ball into a tight end of his caliber's hands and see what kind of disruption he can cause.
Now on third and long, they'll look to throw. And he couldn't hang on to it through the contact. Incomplete. Seems like this defense, especially the secondary, has really been contesting about every throw in this first half.
Remind me of a good half-court defensive basketball team. Every time a pass is thrown, they're right there in good defensive position, able to affect the play.
Now Brown. Nice job bringing that one back. 14 on the return. And out will come the offense as they take over. Now the Raiders offense, they get set to head back on the field. They've got the lead. Last time had to punt it, though. What's the key to this drive?
I think it's leverage.
Leverage.
Big guys up front. You know the motivational speech on the sideline is, guys, give us an opportunity. Protect the passer, create space for our runners, and let's go ahead and give these guys. Low man wins. Let's go do it on this drive.
We'll watch that leverage on this drive. And they'll go ground game here with a tailback. A good run there on first down, and it'll leave them with a 2nd and 2.
You know what really fires up offensive linemen? When the guy that is carrying the ball behind them can create his own space and break a tackle along the way.
The play action fake. They'll look to throw. And that is incomplete.
And you just know when that play call came in, their eyes lit up because anytime you get a chance to take a big shot downfield, that's a lot of fun, and they missed an opportunity.
The Raiders on third down, just 1 for 3 thus far. This time they face a 3rd and 2. He'll look to throw. And he comes back with one complete. And he gets it down to the 48, enough for the first. It's a 9-yard gain, and it keeps the drive moving. Got to say, I was a little surprised to see him, Charles, come out in the shotgun on 3rd and less than a yard.
Yeah, but the way the NFL is nowadays, we hardly ever see anyone really run for it on short yardage. So they're going to throw the football more times than not. That was a nice, easy rhythm throw right there, and they pick up the first down.
Now they'll run it on the toss. And that play will go nowhere. Losing yardage back near midfield at the 49. The loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's 2nd down.
I know that speed is the hallmark of today's NFL game, but the key to good rushing defense is still having your linebackers set the edge.
And they'll go with a ground attack here. And he might have got this across midfield, not by much. They'll mark it down at the 49. The Raiders on third down. They've hit 2 for 4 thus far. This is 3rd and 10.
All right, here we go.
Back to throw. And that is incomplete.
Certainly looked like they were getting ready to convert there on 3rd down, but what an effort to get his hand on that one, knock it away, and brings up a 4th down decision.
He gets this one away, and boy, it's another boomer. And this one hits at the 3 and then bounds into the end zone for a touchback. Now the Broncos offense, they get set to head back onto the field. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
Look, you know how in baseball when the pitcher gets a base hit and he's on base, they bring his jacket out to him to keep him warm? A lot of times the punter goes to the sideline, puts on sweatpants or a wrap over his leg to keep it warm. He might need a massage from the trainer right now from all the work he's getting.
2nd and 9 now from the 21. He'll look to throw. And he finds a man on the crossing route. 30, the 20, and all the way home for a Broncos score. A big play there, 79 yards. And the Broncos are an extra point away from tying the football game. As a former DB, you might not like to see that, but from a wide receiver's perspective, those are the plays they dream of.
Correct on both counts, all right? Because once he took off, I mean, let's face it, that should have been done in Big Sky country. Aren't any speed limits out there? And off he went. Glad I wasn't the one trying to chase him.
That'll be taken in the end zone. A nice little juke. He's going to be stopped here with a penalty marker on the field. I'm not sure what this is about.
Personal foul, face mask, defense.
Well, we looked at each other right away. We knew that flag was coming out.
And I always enjoy the conversation post because officials always tell you, I don't want to throw the flag, but you caused the play. You did it. I had to.
So the face mask, quite a blessing there as they'll start out of harm's way with a 1st and 10. A give to the fullback on the dive. And he'll work this one up to about the 38. 7 yards on the pickup there, and it'll leave him with a 2nd and 3.
And that's a nice gain by him on 1st down, picking up some key yardage.
They'll run it now out of the gun. Powers through it. And a loose football. The Broncos say they have it. They do.
The psychology of the game never ceases to amaze me because you would think there would never be a fumble from what we hear from coaches all the time, right?
And how much they practice not fumbling.
Practice it, preach it, talk about it all the time. You would think no one would ever turn it over. Yet they are humans out there running around, and we just saw
nowhere to go here. He lost the football, and the Raiders have recovered.
With no running backs in the backfield to help pass protect, all the receivers in their patterns, it's going to be hot routes. If they sense a blitz or pressure on the quarterback, they've got to be prepared to break routes off early and get the football. In this case, never even had a chance. They popped the ball free in the backfield.
He's going to go for a big play downfield. This is caught. And he'll take it into the end zone for a Raider touchdown. A big play there with his 2nd touchdown here in this 1st half. And the Raiders are able to cash in for 6. Now he's having a nice little 1st half here, partner.
And it's a 1st half that leaves us anticipating what can still come. I mean, 2 touchdowns already here through the 2nd quarter. There could be plenty more before this game is over.
Janikowski now for the point after. Janikowski good with the extra point, and that makes the score 14-7. Out to kick is Janikowski. This will be taken to the back of the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. The Broncos offense now gets ready to head back onto the field. And last time the turnover on the fumble, and they were in enemy territory, so that had to be very frustrating. Down on the scoreboard here, can't do it again.
You nailed every part of what was frustrating. Down on the scoreboard, had a drive going, had pushed it past the 50-yard line, so they felt they were in striking distance, and to come away with nothing, not a good feeling at all, to put it mildly. Now they can't afford to do that again.
Yeah, now can they get that bad taste out of their mouth here?
Here we go now. Green, 39. Green,
out of the gun. They'll look to throw. He's got his man sharp, complete. And he'll get to the 29-yard line, brought down there. Fans, a reminder, I have a note card here that says ad-lib halftime previews. So I guess let's do just that as we'll hand things over to Jonathan Coachman in Orlando when this one reaches halftime. Did I do okay?
You did great. Not a bad job.
Hey.
Writing down your ad-libs.
If you print it, I'm going to read it. I'm Brandon Gaudin. They'll drop to throw. The open man is Smith. He's got his first catch here before halftime, and it goes for a first down. First down now, but that clock rolling. Now on first down, he'll drop to throw it. And that is incomplete. While we have a second, Charles, the Patriots, of course, back in the Super Bowl, getting the 37-31 victory over KC in the AFC title game. Great game, but, the Patriots...
nobody believes in them.
Yeah, right. They're playing that underdog card, but I thought it was funny because after the game, they asked Tom Brady, were you guys just trying to use that for your own motivation? He said no comment because they were. They know they're not the underdog.
They know it, but when you've been that great for this long,
you need something.
You've got to find something different. And Tom Brady, I've got to give him credit. Somehow he made his team buy that and believe in it when no one else in the country did. And I think it really started with their first playoff game this year when the Chargers came to town. I know I picked the Chargers against them. A lot of people picked the Chargers. They took that as, well, no one believes in us, and everyone thinks we're not as good. They were just wrong about that part, as we were wrong about the Chargers beating them.
The Broncos send out their punter now, as he's on for the 5th time here today. That'll be a 43-yard punt, just a single yard on the return. And the Raider drive will start from deep in their own territory with a 1st and 10. And now here come the Raiders. And for them, a touchdown their last go-around. Obviously, they'll be hoping to do that again.
And when you start plotting for this drive, when you start thinking to yourself, okay, what are we going to do? You don't go away from what you did before because that worked, but you have to be prepared for wrinkles and counters because you know they'll make some...
It got his man complete. A big play that time for the Raiders. 45 yards.
Now, that play will end up on the highlights, and you'll see it all over the place. But what you won't see, the offensive line that bought the extra time, that allowed for the big completion downfield, those guys made that play possible.
The big play has them all the way out near midfield for a 1st and 10.
Let's go. Green 39. Green 39.
They'll look to throw now on 1st down. He's going to find his running back. It's complete. And he'll go down inside the 45 before going out of bounds. They'll give him 8 on the play, and it's a 2nd down.
So many times you hear today's NFL described as a space game. Get your best players into space with the football in their hands. That's why sometimes you just swing it out to your runner, get him out in the flat, and let him have a chance to make people miss an open field.
Now a shotgun snap as they'll look to throw. Over the middle, that's caught by Rice. And he takes this in the red zone all the way inside Denver's 15. That goes for a gain of 31.
Lucky 56. Good.
Back to throw here. Throwing over the middle, and it's incomplete.
And that's one he's got to be happy to have back. There wasn't a hole open in the zone.
You'd have to think on early downs like that, 1st down there, need to be a little bit more careful.
Yeah, fortunately for him, got a couple more downs to play with.
So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on 1st down.
Lucky 56. Here we go now.
Now back to throw. And the hit jarred it loose. It's incomplete.
Anytime a defense can sit back in a zone like that, it tends to create a lot of congestion in the middle of the field. Makes it very hard to slot one in.
Looked like I-4 at rush hour in your hometown of Orlando, Florida. An absolute mess.
All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56.
They'll set up a throw. And now another one thrown incomplete. That is the first time that they've targeted him that he has not come down with a catch.
He's caught everything that's been thrown his way. A dominant pass receiver that can break down any defense, because when he's doing that kind of work, it really hurts you on the back end.
And even though it's an incompletion there, I think they're going back to that well. So we would have figured that one to be 3 points in the bank, but this game, you know, can be unpredictable at times.
Yeah, he knew he needed to pull it ever so slightly to get it going in the right direction, but he seemed to put a little too much on it, and from short range, that is a bad miss for an NFL kicker.
Now out comes their leader and the captain of this offense back onto the field. Been a decent start for him here in this first half, but they're losing, and I think as the captain of the offense, you probably always feel like you need to do more in that situation.
The best have always felt that way, and they won't settle for anything less. So right now, his goal is to increase what he's doing on the field, try to make sure his teammates come along with him, and he feels like if I do better, everyone will do better. And that's what we're seeing from him right now. Got to have a little extra determination.
Yeah, a little extra determination. He has thrown the touchdown pass, no interceptions for him personally to this point. So we've reached... No, I'm not mad at you for skipping halftime, but can I just have a sip of water real quick? Please, thank you. All right, let's go. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. They'll bring it back to just about the 25, call it the 24-yard line. Out comes the Raiders offense. They'll go on offense first to start quarter number 3. They have the lead. Now they'll be looking to extend that lead.
And this is where I enjoy talking about one of my favorite subjects, tendency breakers, or counters as I also like to call them. You've done things in a certain way in the first half, and they've had the ability to see what you've done. They're going to make their adjustments. So guess what? You adjust yourself and try and stay ahead of the pace, because you are looking for some separation in this ball game.
The adjustment to the adjustment.
Without a doubt. Show them one thing, hit them with something else.
And they'll run it here. And he's going to be met at the line of scrimmage and taken down. No gain on the play. It'll be second down.
Well, we just saw a great example of what we talked about with his coach prior to the game. He's definitely one of the better linebackers at reading a play and flowing to make the stop before it turns into something big.
All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56.
Now he'll look to throw here on 2nd and 10. Got his man complete over the middle. That's Rice. And he'll be taken down, but not before he works it past the 50. The result, a first down, as a quick slant gets him 14.
That was a nicely run slant route, and what the receiver's trying to do is make the defender think he's going upfield for a deeper route, and then breaks it off, usually after about 3 to 4 steps, and cuts towards the middle of the field, and now what he's trying to do.
And eventually taken down here. Great coverage downfield. And here the pressure from the outside linebacking spot.
And normally when that happens and they're able to get home, that means the other guys on his team helped him out a lot. That they occupied people to allow it to be no less than a one-on-one situation, allows him to get home.
They'll look to throw here. And he's able to take it across midfield before going out of bounds. Only 3 yards on the catch. It's third down. They should have got more out of that, though. He was wide open.
I love how emphatic you are with that call, because that's exactly what I was thinking. Wide open in the flat. Give him a ball that he can use to get upfield with, not just catch and go over the sideline. They cost themselves some yardage there.
They'll look to throw. He gets it to Brown, complete. Oh, and the big play's going to get even bigger as penalty flags are down, and I believe they're going to get a face mask penalty tacked on.
Face mask. Defense.
So that flag will cost him 15.
And it doesn't matter anymore how you get the face mask. Any part of it, that's going to be 15 yards.
And now it's 1st and 10. A big mistake, especially when you factor in the personal foul yardage. Now a play fake here on 1st down. Nowhere to go here. He lost the football. The Broncos say they have it. They do. So now a look at the Broncos as they head back out there for their first possession of the second half. We have not seen much on offense from either side. These last few drives, it has been a struggle, hasn't it?
Totally, and you're thinking to yourself right now, if you're on offense trying to get things figured out, okay, we self-scout every week in our game plan. How many things do we do at certain times? What are our tendencies? Time to go to some of those tendency breakers and try and create some offense.
They always have those in their back pocket, don't they?
You have to, and if you don't keep abreast of what you're doing, you lock into a rhythm and make it easy for the opposition.
Looking for tendency breakers right now.
Here we go now.
Now they'll throw here out of the gun. Over the middle to Smith. And he'll get to the 29-yard line, brought down there. These guys have punted 4 times already, and they're staring at a 5th, barring a conversion here on 3rd down.
All right, here we go. Green, 39.
Out of the gun now on 3rd down. And he'll be out of bounds across the 30-yard line. And give him 5 yards there, and it's enough for the first. So they'll come up 1st and 10 now from the 33. And they'll try the ground game here with the running back. And this has been a familiar sight all afternoon as they stop him behind the line. You know, despite the scoreline, I think they've got to like where they are here. They're on the road and just one big play away from getting right back in this game.
I'm going to follow right along with you because the spot they're in now is a credit to their defense. They've kept them in it by making the plays that they've made, and that just means you're one big score away from being right back there.
Now, the question is, can this offense step up and make that play? Because that's been an issue for them in this game. Officials so cognizant of that call nowadays, but that one looked pretty easy.
Yeah, you're right. They took out of their hands having to wonder whether it's a 5-yard or a 15-yard inadvertent or not. Now, it's a lot easier. You see it, you call it.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And very little daylight there. He'll get a couple up to the 44.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
Off the play fake, he'll look to throw. Toward the right sideline, but it's incomplete.
What's the old adage? Be quick, but don't hurry? Well, that went right out the window there. He was hurried, harassed. That ball had to be gotten rid of, otherwise he was going to get sacked.
Here we go now. 3-19. 3-19.
They're going to look to throw. And this time he's got the hook up. It's complete. And he is tackled inside the 40, not quite to the 35. He had the touchdown earlier. This one's going to get him a first down. This quarterback now 10 of 16 throwing the football. It's 1st and 10. Looking to throw. Looking middle, and it's incomplete.
And he still doesn't have a catch. We're into the second half. I think it's a little bit of a surprise to me, but that was one he should have caught.
Absolutely. That was his best opportunity right there. He dropped it.
Here we go now. Green, 39. Green, 39.
Back to throw now on 2nd and 10. And a quick throw here. That's complete. And give him a gain of 37.
As we continue to advance in the NFL, as people continue to scout players, they really don't care as much about body types as they care about those guys who can make people miss, run through tackles, and gain all that additional run after catch. Anybody who has that ability, they want them on their team.
They'll try and run for it on 1st and goal. Into a mass of bodies, and I think they held him out. They did. Call it no gain, and it's going to be 2nd and goal. Now, they struggled to get him rolling on the ground in the first half, and that's sort of continuing here in the 3rd quarter.
Yeah, but I don't think it's time to abandon the running game. I would say keep feeding the horse, and I believe he'll eventually reward them, especially as we get deeper in the game.
Throwing over the middle, but it's incomplete.
I know coaches tell us all the time that having a powerful arm isn't the #1 thing they look for in a quarterback. But when you're trying to throw inside routes and you need to put some heat on it, it helps to have the big gun. In this case, just a little bit too much.
They'll give it to him right up the gut. And this time he's going backwards. So after the no gain on the last attempt, here they get him behind the line.
Sometimes with the running game, you've just got to stick with it. Look, it's the third quarter, no time to panic. But that also doesn't mean you just do it the same way you've been doing it the entire ball game. Maybe change up some blocking assignments or run a few different plays, but stay with the overall essence of the running game.
So a decent drive there to start the third quarter. They only salvaged 3 out of it, but they inch a bit closer.
Yeah, but still lots of time to go in this one. That's why you hear that clapping on the sidelines, right? Hey, got some points. As you said, inching their way back in. Time left to go out and get that victory.
The lead cut to just 4 as they kick it away and turn things over to their D. This is fielded a couple yards deep. And all that work, but he stopped where he ultimately would have been, and he's simply taken a knee, and that's the 25-yard line. And now Oakland ready to take the field. And they'll be looking to atone for last time's mistake of fumbling inside the red zone. Certainly they don't want to do that again.
And so much emphasis placed on red zone offense. I mean, you have periods devoted in practice just for that because everyone knows how vital it is to put points on the board when you've entered that part of the field. And to come away with nothing, that's difficult for a team to handle.
And difficult, and now we'll see if they can make it less difficult on themselves on this drive. Now a nice play defensively on first down as this is knocked away and incomplete. Well, while we have a second here, how about we get bold and make a couple Super Bowl predictions?
Hey, why not? Let's go ahead and put ourselves on the spot.
Just more fodder for the angry people. What do you think? Who's going to win it? Who's going to be the MVP?
Well, my prediction for this one is the New England Patriots win the football game. They win it 32-30. The MVP, the McCourty twins, Jason and Devin. They both get 2 interceptions apiece, and instead of splitting the trophy, they wrestle for it right there in the 50-yard line post-game because you know sibling rivalries, one always wants the upper hand.
Okay, that's bold. I'll go Rams on a Greg Zuerlein 44-yarder from the right hash as time expires.
44, that's nothing for him.
MVP Todd Gurley, 2 touchdowns, 1 catching, 1 rushing.
I like it.
There you go.
You don't like the McCourty thing, though, do you?
No, I do like that. If that happens, you're Nostradamus.
There you go.
They'll set up to throw. And he comes back with 1 complete. And he'll work it across midfield inside the 45. They've got another first down. The Raider passing game clicking on all cylinders right now. Tell you what, he's been able to put the ball in some tight spots all game long. That throw, no different.
Yeah, a lot of people would call it a gutsy type of a throw. I think he looks at it as, I can do it, so it's not that big of a deal to me, and I'm going to keep firing.
Back now in the East Bay. It's the Raiders with the lead and the football here as we get ready to start quarter number 4. On first down, he'll drop to throw. Now they go screen. It's complete. And now running right through it. And he's taken down inside the 30. Back-to-back nice gains. That one for 14 yards and another first.
These guys are running offense like you drive. The pedal is down. Stomp down. How about that? Back-to-back completions. They are rolling.
So much for being conservative and running that football. This quarterback now perfect since the second half started. 7 of 7. It's 1st and 10. They'll run it now out of the gun. And able to break 1 tackle, but then quickly brought down. But a nice little gain. 9 yards is the pickup there, and they'll have a 2nd and 1. I'm guessing you'd say this is kind of the key here. Grind out some yardage, work on that clock, see if you can continue to tick it down.
Definitely. You want to bleed things out at this point, right? Continue to possess the football, gain some yardage, and put the onus on the defense Do they have to use timeouts? What are they going to do to stop you? You're taking charge.
Back 99 Philly, here we go.
He'll drop to throw. And incomplete there. A nice hit. Jars the ball free and brings up third down.
We've seen good cover skills on display throughout this game, really from both teams. And there's another nice example there of them making it difficult to complete a pass.
The Raiders on third down. 3 for 7 so far in this game. They need just a yard here. It's 3rd and 1. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll have the first down, getting this one to the 14-yard line. Call it a gain of 7, and it gets him a new set of downs. Starting to feel a little to me like the air is coming out of the balloon, so to speak, defensively.
They're taking their will from them right now. That's what they're doing. Whatever they want to call, it's working. They're handling things up front. And it's not just the offensive line. It's everyone. You're seeing the guys on the perimeter blocking downfield and making sure that they're secure. So, yeah, you're exactly right. The air's out of the balloon, and right now they're almost lifeless. An ex-teammate used to tell me all the time, I hate experienced quarterbacks because no matter what, you really can't hide what you're doing. And I think that right there, he knew right away where the blitz was coming from, where his primary guy was going to be, and he ended up going to a secondary target for a nice game.
I was just going to ask you, that wasn't the primary target. He's so good at that, isn't he?
I think he knew right away that he wasn't going to get to his primary guy. I think he read that as soon as he got to the line of scrimmage, knew where the pressure was going to come from, and said, I know how to beat that, and that's what he did. Now, obviously, that's some good work there defensively, being able to stop them and bringing up a key third down. But if you're on the offensive side of the ball, there's an opportunity because I know what defensive guys are thinking right now. Just stop them, get to the ball. That means they might not be sound defensively. There could be some opportunities.
And you said key third down. And that is caught. Touchdown, Raiders. In for the score. And the Raiders add 6 to their lead. And when a Hail Mary is completed for a touchdown pass like that, I think any defensive coordinator just puts their face right into their hands.
I don't think there's any doubt about it, and I don't have stats in front of me. I don't have the empirical numbers that say that in recent years the Hail Mary pass has been completed more than it has been, but it feels that way, doesn't it? And I know the defenses are spending more time on it. I think the biggest mistake they make is that they play everything from behind the receiver. I think they've got to start getting people in front as well to try and knock the ball away.
Janikowski on for the extra point. And oh, it's no good on the PAT, so they can't add on here, and our score is going to stay right where it is. Out to kick is Janikowski. This is taken about 7 yards deep. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Now this Broncos offensive unit ready to head back out onto the field. And last time they got 3 points, but it was a chip shot field goal. And when you go to the sideline after a chip shot field goal, maybe the offense not too happy.
It's a balancing act, isn't it? Because you're exactly right. They're none too pleased that they didn't punch it in for 6 points. But they also have to remember they did put points on the board.
3 points is 3 points.
And in this league, you take points when you can get them. Not easily done.
That's a good way to start the drive. 17 yards and a first down.
This possession means so much for them. They've got to focus on this drive and find a way to make this a one-possession game.
Yes.
Got to get a score.
Yeah, so good with a field goal. Don't necessarily need a touchdown. Back to throw now on first down. And that's off the mark, incomplete. Before the game, they were running the route tree about as efficiently and effectively as we could have possibly imagined, but sometimes the passes just go awry.
Yeah, let's face it. When you're running the route tree in pregame, you don't have defenders breathing down your neck. You don't have defensive backs making plays on the football. Hard to replicate the intensity of the game in pregame.
And he'll be brought down right at the 45-yard line. 4 yards on the completion, and it sets up a third down. One thing I think that's safe to say defensively, the tackling's been really good.
And because of that, It's been very, very hard for them to move the ball because you're not getting the benefits of run after catch. They're tackling them almost on the spot. That means you have to run extra plays, harder to move it.
And all this is taken in one-handed. What a catch. He has a first down, and that catch will also put him over 100 yards receiving now on the afternoon.
Really? Really? Did we just see that? That's a big catch. One-handed, I might add, to pick up a first down.
I was going to say on third down for the defense, it's one thing to give up a reception. You just kind of shake your head on a one-handed catch to pick up the first. So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. He'll look to throw. A hit as he throws there, incomplete.
We've seen this quite a few times in this game. Offensive line unable to keep leverage, unable to keep people away, facing a lot of pressure. Fortunate just to get rid of it.
One of the reasons they're down is that inability, though, to stop the pressure. We saw another example of it there. So line of scrimmage still the 39 on 2nd and 10. Back to throw. Throwing for his running back, and he's got him complete. And this time not quite to the 30. It'll be down at the 31-yard line. It'll be a gain of 8 yards, and that'll make it 3rd down.
And we see another pitch and catch there to the running back. This position just continues to evolve. They become just as critical to the passing attack as a lot of receivers, tight ends, because their ability to make people miss in the open field can really generate big plays for an offense.
Now, meanwhile, a pass that should have been intercepted, but it winds up falling incomplete.
Not only was the call spot on, how about the execution of that defense right there? The zone was absolutely locked up tight. He was trying to force it in there on 3rd down.
But if there's a time to force it, he felt like he needed to make a play, right?
Yeah, exactly right. 3rd down, you got to try and find something. There's nothing available there for him.
All right, so they needed 2 scores to get back in the game. The field goal there, maybe not exactly what they wanted, but the necessary first step.
There's still time remaining, and there's enough time to get it done. They've got to get at the least a 3 and out here to get the ball back, preferably a takeaway.
And now Oakland ready to take the field. Right now clinging to a 1-score lead, Charles, and I think operating within that 4-minute offense with a little less than 4 minutes to go applies here, right?
It certainly does, and that means the playbook is still wide open. But you are a little bit more careful about what you're calling. You want plays that are going to gain yardage, how would you say it, consistently, right? You don't need the big shots downfield, but make sure the clock continues to run. Pile up the first downs, and the goal, end the game with your quarterback kneeling down at the end, and you still have the lead.
And he stopped immediately there. No gain on the play there, 2nd down. And when do they start thinking about burning these timeouts? They've got all 3 still defensively.
To me, you have to start right now. Here's the time, and that means you've got to stop them on defense, not give up the yardage, use your timeouts in order to get the ball back and try and score yourself. But now is the time to start using those timeouts.
And keep in mind, it'll also stop the clock at the 2-minute warning. Now with just 1 second showing on the play clock, we're going to get a timeout. It's just their first. They'll be down to 2 remaining as we step aside here in the 4th quarter. He'll look to throw. Quick throw that's complete on the inside slant. Now the Broncos are going to take a timeout. It's just their first. They'll be down to 2 remaining as we step aside here in the 4th quarter. As big of a play as we've had in this one so far. This is 3rd and 3. They'll run it now out of the gun. And no room that time, getting it to about the 46. And now the Broncos will burn another timeout here. That's going to be their second. They'll be left with one more plus the 2-minute warning, and we'll be back. Here's Shane Leckler now as he's on to punt for Oakland. He's averaging just under 50 yards a punt as he gets this away. That'll go as a punt of 32 yards. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. Here's the Denver offense now as they get set to take over here. And last time able to get 3. It's not what they wanted. They wanted 6, but they got at least something. They mustered something out of the drive.
They'll take it. I like the way you've described it. Not ideal, but they'll take it. Anything to put some points on the board. But this time on offense, they don't even want to see the field goal kicker trot on the field. They want that ball in the end zone.
Yeah, they'll be going for 6. Give them 13 yards on the opening play of the drive and also give them a 1st down.
It's funny, throughout the time that we've been together, when we talk with running backs about the ability to catch the ball, their eyes light up when they talk about open field and having one-on-one matchups, don't they?
Yeah, they do. And that's the reason why. What we just saw, shedding those tackles, and that's what they're used to doing.
It is, and it starts at the beginning of the play. One-on-one matchup if someone's trying to cover them, but they also like those one-on-ones downfield after the catch when they're running with the ball. They think they're going to win those too.
Now he'll dump it underneath to his running back, complete. And brought down, but not before reaching the 45-yard line. Solid way to start the drive. 13 yards, picking up the 1st. Back to throw. Looking right sideline, but it's incomplete. This defense has watched their lead dwindle away. This is where they really need to bow up. They executed well there.
And it's often hard after you've played really well early and then you kind of relax a little bit to step on the gas again. They just did it on the last play. Looks like they want to finish this one off.
And he'll be hit as he releases it, and that'll fall incomplete.
Tell you what, partner, after he ices down, he's going to need a nice long soak in a hot tub after this one. He's been under duress the entire game.
Yeah, once again, hit as he throws. Fortunate that one wound up incomplete. Big play coming up. Here's 3rd and 10.
I would expect to see some pressure here.
All right, here we go. Green 39. Green 39.
They'll run it now out of the gun. No gain there on the play, and that's going to leave them with a 4th down. Clock running here, under 90 seconds to go. He'll look to throw. And able to catch it, but he's out of bounds. Now the throw took him beyond the sideline, and that's going to be a turnover on downs. They had to go for it with such little time remaining, and the Raiders with the football now in excellent field position.
After review of the play, the ruling on the field stands.
Able to slither by, and he'll be brought down at about the 42. And now we're going to get a timeout here called by the defense, as they'll talk things over prior to this upcoming 2nd down play. Have to imagine this will be on the ground as well as they come up 2nd and 7. And they'll go on the ground. And he'll be brought down at about the 42. Only a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 3rd down. And now the question everyone's wondering, look at the clock, late fourth quarter, do they put the ball in the air here on third?
I don't. I run the football, and I tell my offensive line, no leakage up front. I don't want my running back hit as I hand the ball off to him. I don't want any type of an issue. But if I am going to throw it, quick throw, out to the perimeter, maybe one of my best receivers running a quick slant or something like that.
And on the ground they go with a running back. And here he'll be brought down a little shy of the 35 at the 36. Yeah, he's just short. He got 6 of the 7 he needed, so that leaves a decision here on 4th and a yard. This late in the game, Charles, I think you maybe seriously have to think about going for it.
Especially where they are in terms of field position, because this is almost like no man's land. Might hurt your punter because there might not be enough space, maybe too far for your field goal kicker. I'm like the old rule. Possession is 9/10 of the law. Possession is 9/10 of winning the game. Go for it. Get the first down. Close it out.
No. Check. Patriot.
And they'll go ground game here with a tailback. He will not, and he takes it in for the score on the game's final play, so it doesn't affect the outcome, but a little whipped cream on top to their ending.
Or as our friends in Bayou Country would say, that's a little lagniappe, a little extra on top.
Well, they got the touchdown, but a little risky, even though where they were to run the football in that situation on the final play.
If they give it up somehow, if a turnover is created and they take it back the other way, instead of a comfortable victory that they've got now, they've got a lot of explaining to do about why they tried to run the ball in that situation instead of just taking a knee and icing it.
But thankfully for them, they won't have to do any explaining. One more extra point attempt for good measure. Now whistles come in. We're going to get a timeout here by the offense. And as the two teams talk it over on their respective sidelines, we take a break. And if the late touchdown wasn't bad enough, now they're going to go for 2. So sportsmanship nowhere to be found right here. And after the good gain last play, this time they say, as he's going to be stopped behind the line of scrimmage. And, Charles, I think when the schedule comes out, all teams, no matter where they're predicted to finish, talk about protecting your home turf. They were able to do that here in this one.
Similar to a tennis match, right? Not letting them break your serve. That way you hold on to it. They got it done, and they feel very good about that victory.
So that'll do it for us. For Charles Davis and all our crew, I'm Brandon Gaudin. You've been watching the NFL on EA Sports. The Black Hole celebrates. The Raiders are winners here as we say so long from Oakland.